I promised you guys a banger today, and that is exactly what you're going to get, because with these new fights that got announced, I have heard rumors that this basically this is what you're going to get right now, all right? So because we now know that Tsarukyan and Charles Oliveira are fighting, there are details related to that fight that now inform me about a rumor I heard, which makes it almost a certainty that it's true. It also, I have another rumor on the other side that's a huge fight. Two huge fights that have not gotten announced yet that now I know is also going to inform who Chandler's fighting after Conor and who Conor's fighting after Chandler, depending on how those fights all shake out. So that is exactly what we are going to talk about right now. And I'm going to tell you as much as I can relating to how I know what I know. All right. So that is what we're going to do. It is going to be a very exciting day to think about what we have coming up, because if you can't tell, 2024 is going to be an absolutely ridiculous year. And I'm going to make a prediction for UFC 300 that I would like people to hold me accountable for. I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but if I am right, okay, I want the credit that I deserve. If I'm wrong, then you could just be like, all right, so what? You made some stupid hypothesis that you were wrong about, so screw you, Jesse on Fire. I'll take that. But if I'm right, get off me. Get off me if I'm right. So let's jump into it. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not done that yet. I'm trying to hit 137,000 today. I'm working very hard. I ask if you're going to watch my content that you just hit subscribe. 40% of you have still not done that. 60, well, more like 38%. You're in the minority. If you watch my content consistently and you have not subscribed, that's all I ask that you do, and I appreciate you guys. So here is what we're going to do. We're going right here. So the fights that got announced that inform us on what is coming are here, all right? So Dustin Poirier against Benoit Saint-Denis. By the way, banger of a fight. And that's going to be in Miami. Dude, come on. Anyway, I'm going to be there. And I'm very excited about that card, obviously. All right, so that one is very exciting. We know that Benoit Saint-Denis is a star. The UFC thinks that he is an up-and-comer that's going to be he is a French star. That guy got on the microphone after his last win, and he thanked the United States for saving France in World War II. That is so simultaneously ridiculous and awesome that I kind of don't have anything else to say about it. I was like, I'm rooting for that guy forever, dude. He thanked us for World War II. That's so gangster, dude. The guy's a special forces. Anyway, I am a huge fan of him. I'm not saying I could root for him over Dustin Poirier because I love Poirier, but that fight is going to be an absolute freaking banger. Now, the one that matters that we are talking about, which informs a couple of huge fights that I am going to tell you about, is the other one, all right? So Charles Oliveira and Tsarukyan are fighting on UFC 300. And the detail that informs me that the thing I heard is true is the fact that this is a number one contender fight, okay? Winner of this is fighting Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is out until summer. So who is left out in the cold? Justin Gaethje. Now, what have I heard about Justin Gaethje? I heard that Justin Gaethje is going to fight Max Holloway on UFC 300, okay? So let's take that into account. And let's just, this is widely known kind of like in the inner circles that fight is being worked on. So Gaethje against Max Holloway at UFC 300, okay? The winner of Oliveira and Tsarukyan is going to be fighting against Islam Makhachev. What does that tell us about what comes next after those two guys fight for the BMF belt? Okay? Because that's going to be for BMF. It's going to be Gaethje and Max, BMF. Who's going to fight them next? Think about it. Conor or Chandler, okay? So that is the tournament that you are looking at when it comes to these fights. Now, there's another super exciting thing I'm going to announce here in a second, but that is what you are looking at, is you're looking at a tournament for the BMF belt that is going to be Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway, Michael Chandler, Conor McGregor. That is what you're looking at. And in case you haven't figured this out, think, is Conor McGregor for the BMF belt maybe one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time? Yes. Does that give them the ability to have Conor McGregor fight for a belt with only one victory? Yes. Yes, it does. And if you also haven't thought about this, let's say hypothetically that Conor lost the fight, right? Conor loses. Well, I guess we could set him up against the loser of that fight also. And if it's Justin Gaethje, that works because they hate each other. And if it's Max Holloway, that works because they fought when they were young and everyone would want to see a rematch of that fight. Now, this also means you can bet your life that that fight ain't going to be at 185 pounds, whether it's at UFC 300 or if it's at International Fight Week. They'll do it at welterweight at the highest because the next one is going to be one of those. So that's prediction number one, all right, is that Max and Gaethje are going to fight for the BMF belt. This is more of a verified rumor around, if the UFC hasn't announced it, it's not 100%, but I can tell you that fight in the works, okay? So there's that. Then you have Chandler and Conor, and the winner of those two is going to fight the winner of those two. That is prediction number one. Prediction number two, and this is the big one. I still think Conor and Chandler are going to be on UFC 300. I think that this is all misdirection. I think they didn't want to announce that because they don't want to take away from these announcements. I still think that they are at the very least working on Chandler and Conor to headline UFC 300, and I'll tell you another reason why I think that. How on earth do all of these fights end up on these other cards if they don't have a barn burner for UFC 300? That's what I'm saying. They have to have a huge headliner for UFC 300. They have to, okay? Gaethje versus Max Holloway, great fight. Not a headliner for UFC 300. Okay, they have to have something up their sleeve. And no one would know. I can't stress that enough. No one would know if they do. Okay? If they are still working. And this whole thing with Chandler and Conor does not make sense. I cannot stress this enough. It does not make sense. 185 makes no sense. International Fight Week. I don't believe it. 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 I would be, listen, in this case, okay, if I'm wrong, it's going to be pretty obvious, dude. There's not going to be any middle ground on this. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if they were headlining UFC 300, I don't think that we would know yet. And that, I think I am right about. If they end up doing International Fight Week at 185, I'll tell you what, think of something fucked up and I'll do it. And now let's move over to the other fight that I cannot believe this. I had this earlier and then it got, well, I don't know if you guys know yet, but Josh Thompson also revealed that Masvidal and Nate Diaz are going to be boxing, and that fight is going to be bananas. And if I can have any weigh-in on this particular thing, can they please do it in MMA gloves? Please. Please, please, please. And I will go to that event. Bet your life on that. I will host an event for that, for that fight. We're going, dude. We are going. And if you have gone to one of the events with me, as a matter of fact, if you went to the Jake Paul and Nate Diaz fight and you don't want to come to this one, you're out of your mind. It's going to be so sick. We'll do Fighter Hotel, Masvidal's crew, Nate Diaz's crew. That undercard will be sick. We will definitely do it again. Hopefully they do it in Dallas. That was so fun, man. But I am very curious to understand what Masvidal's contract situation looks like, because the UFC, as I understand, would have to greenlight it. Maybe they would take a piece of it. I don't know. But that's the word, is that Masvidal and Nate Diaz are setting up for a boxing match. And, listen, man. Renato Moicano even just said that Masvidal's back in the gym and he's not training grappling. He's doing all boxing. So that validates that. Josh Thompson leaked that today and said that it could be as soon as next month, which is crazy. But listen, I'll get tickets. We will make it work, dude. We will make that work. The other rumor that is possible, okay, so going back to the UFC 300 thing, the only thing that I could think of that would potentially put us in a position where I will just kind of go, okay, that could be a headliner where I'll accept that's what they are definitely working on a huge fight for UFC 300. There's absolutely no doubt. None. They are definitely doing it in secret. That there's also no doubt. And so you would not know about it. It might be Izzy and Pereira at 205. That would be an acceptable UFC 300 headliner for sure. That could be the one. Conor and Chandler could be the one. I can't think of another matchup that would be acceptable to the people. It's possible it's misdirection, and Nate and Nate and Masvidal are going to be on there. I don't know. I am hearing nothing but rumors that Masvidal and Nate are going to be doing boxing, but again, that could be all misdirection. These guys are masterful PR managers. Who knows? But either way, I will definitely be at UFC 300. I will definitely be at UFC Miami. I will definitely be at a Masvidal and Nate Diaz boxing match. And for 100% sure, whenever Chandler and Conor fight, we're doing that group. 100%. I am going to host groups at all of those events. Bet your life on that. And you should come. It's expensive, but it's worth it. Okay? It is absolutely worth it. Ask anyone who has ever gone. We have a blast, man. It is so fun. Now we've got this thing down to a science. The first night, we don't go out. We don't do it. We have house parties, dude. We go to we get some huge suite and we party in there. So we all hang out the whole time. Everybody gets drunk. Everybody gets to meet each other. We all kick it. And then the next day, we'll meet up during the day. We all already know each other. Like everybody knows each other. So it's like one big crew of your boys and girls headed to a fight together. It's not awkward because we've all hung out. We all know it. I'm fired up, man. The first hour is a little bit weird because people, you go with like one of your buddies and then people don't know. And then by the second hour, it's like, oh man, this is a nice group. Let me tell you one unequivocal fact about my viewer base. Everyone's cool, dude. Bottom line, everyone is cool. The real fans of this channel, everyone is cool. We have not had a single person come to one of these events and not have a good time, dude. Or I'm sorry, I don't know. I mean, I can't say that. But like where we were like, okay, that person's a weirdo. Like we've liked every single, I'm like basically friends with everyone who's come, dude. So anyway, keep that on your calendar and I will announce when we are officially going to do the events. And I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Bye.